The gangsters gamble in a bustling city filled with glitzy casinos and dimly lit back alleys. There lived a man named Jack who had a dangerous addiction to gambling. He had lost everything: his savings, his job, and even his family's trust. Yet, he continued to insist on gambling, hoping for a miraculous turnaround. As Jack's debts grew, he found himself entangled with a notorious gang that controlled the gambling scene. The gang members knew about Jack's weaknesses and exploited them ruthlessly. They demanded he repay his debts, and he had no choice but to comply, diving deeper into the dangerous world of underground gambling. Jack's only solace was his son, Mike, a talented young man with a promising boxing career ahead. Mike had tried his best to support his father and help him overcome his addiction, but it seemed like an insurmountable task. The pressure mounted, and Jack's life began to unravel completely. He could no longer keep his troubles hidden from Mike, who was hurt and disappointed by his father's actions. One night, when the gang's demands became unbearable, Jack hatched a desperate plan. He decided to bet everything he had on a high-stakes underground poker game, hoping that a win would settle his debts once and for all. As Jack sat at the poker table, nerves tingling, he knew that this was his last chance. The cards were dealt, and the tension in the room was palpable. Luck was not on Jack's side that night. He lost the game, and with it, he lost all hope. The gangsters were furious, and they threatened to harm both Jack and Mike if he didn't pay up immediately. Unable to bear the burden any longer, Jack reached out to Mike and confessed everything. He tearfully begged for forgiveness and understanding, fearing that his actions had irreparably damaged their relationship. Mike was torn between anger and compassion. He knew his father needed help, and he vowed to stand by him, but he also knew they needed to break free from the clutches of the ruthless gang. Determined to protect his family, Mike devised a plan. He decided to use his boxing skills to earn enough money to pay off his father's debts and free them from the gang's control. Mike trained harder than ever before, channeling his frustration and pain into every punch. His talent shone through, and soon he became a rising star in the boxing world. As Mike's reputation grew, he caught the attention of the gang leader, who saw an opportunity to profit from the talented young boxer. The gang approached Mike, offering him a deal: throw an important match, and they would wipe away his father's debts. Mike faced a moral dilemma. He couldn't betray his principles and the sport he loved, but he also couldn't let his father suffer any longer. He knew he had to outsmart the gang and put an end to their control once and for all. Mike pretended to accept the gang's offer, but secretly, he devised a plan to turn the tables on them. He gathered evidence of their illegal activities, recording conversations and collecting information to expose their operations. On the night of the match, Mike entered the ring with a steely determination. He fought fiercely, refusing to throw the fight, and won against all odds. The crowd roared with applause, unaware of the deeper game at play. With the evidence in hand, Mike confronted the gang leader and threatened to expose them to the authorities if they didn't release his father from their grasp. Fearing the consequences of exposure, the gang reluctantly agreed to let Jack go and wipe his debts clean. They underestimated the resolve and strength of a son fighting for his family. With the gang finally out of their lives, Jack and Mike reconciled. Jack sought help for his gambling addiction, and Mike continued his successful boxing career, making a name for himself as the world champion. Their story of redemption and triumph over the gangsters spread across the city, inspiring others to stand up against corruption and fight for their loved ones. The title, "The Gangsters Gamble," became a symbol of hope, reminding people that even in the darkest moments, the strength of family and the power of love can prevail, breaking the chains of extortion and leading to a brighter, better future.